Buju genwa piraske kwe and ayalma. Nungum gewiwabanano o. We're going to look at this, the Mishomis book, book 5. This one is about the Great Flood story. We've been talking a lot about this over the last month or two. We're going to go to page 2, and we're going to look at this. It's going to talk about the purification of the earth with water was complete. So when this happened, we had our great flood that happened. There are many Ojibwe teachings that refer to a man named Buju. Some people have actually referred to Anishinaabe or original man as Buju. Most of the elders agree that Buju was not really a man, but was a spirit who had many adventures during the early years of the earth. Some people say that Buju was half man and half spirit. Some say that Buju provided the link that human form was gradually given to the spiritual beings of the earth. No matter what view you accept, everyone agrees that Buju had many human-like characteristics. He made mistakes at times just like we do, but he also learned from his mistakes so that he could accomplish things and become better at living in harmony with the earth. These things that Buju learned were later to become very useful to Indian people. He has been looked upon as kind of a hero by the Ojibwe. These Buju stories have been told for many years to children to help them grow in a balanced way. So these are our Adizokang, or Adizokang. These are our winter storytellings. In our teachings from now on, we will use the name Buju to refer to the spirit of Anishinaabe or original man. The teaching about how a new earth was created about the Great Flood is one of the basic Buju stories. It tells of how Buju managed to save himself by resting on a gitchimitig, or a huge log that was floating on the vast expanse of water that covered Mother Earth. Remember about the purification? As he floated along on this log, some of the animals that were able to keep swimming came to rest on the log. They would rest for a while and then let another swimming animal take their place. It was the same way with the winged creatures. They would take turns resting on the log and flying. It was through this kind of sacrifice and concern for one another that Buju and a large group of birds and four-leggeds were able to save themselves on the giant log. They floated for a long time but could gain no sight of land. Finally, Buju spoke to the animals. "I am going to do something," he said. "I'm going to swim to the bottom of the water and grab a handful of earth. With this small bit of earth, I believe we can create a new land for us to live on with the help of the four winds and Gitchimanidu." So Buju dived into the water. He was gone a long time. Some of the animals began to cry, for they thought that Buju must have drowned trying to reach the bottom. This is a picture of Buju and the animals on the giant log. At last, the animals caught sight of some bubbles of air, and finally Buju came to the top of the water. Some of the animals helped him onto the log. Buju was out of breath, that he could not speak at first. When he regained his strength, he spoke to the animals. "The water is so deep. I never reached the bottom. I cannot swim fast enough or hold my breath long enough to make it to the bottom." All the animals on the log were silent for a long time. Mong, the loon, who was swimming alongside the log, was the first to speak. "I can dive under the water for a long ways, for that is how I catch my food. I will try to dive to the bottom and get some of the earth in my beak." The loon dived out of sight and was gone a long time. The animals felt sure he had drowned. When the loon floated to the top of the water, he was very weak and out of breath. "I couldn't make it," he gasped. There appears to be no bottom to this water." And this is a picture of the loon when he volunteered. Next, Jingobis, the hell diver, came forth. "I will try to swim to the bottom," he said. "I am known for diving to great depths." The hell diver was gone for a very long time. Then the animals and Buju were about to give up hope. They saw the hell diver's body come floating up to the top. He was unconscious, and Buju had to pull him onto the log and help him regain his breath. When the hell diver came to, he spoke to all the animals on the log. I am sorry, my brothers and sisters. I too cannot reach the bottom, although I swam for a long way straight down. Many of the animals offered themselves to do the task that was so important to the future of all life on earth. Zhanggush, the mink, tried but could not make it to the bottom. Negig, the otter, tried and failed. Even Mizike, the turtle, tried but was unsuccessful. All seemed hopeless. It appeared that the water was so deep that no living thing could reach its bottom. Then a soft, muffled voice was heard. I'll try, it said softly. At first no one could see who it was that spoke. The little Wajashk muskrat stepped forth. I'll try, he said again. Some of the animals laughed and poked each other. The helldiver jeered, If I couldn't make it, how can he expect to do any better? Wayne-Boozhoo spoke. Hold it, everyone. It is not our place to judge the merits of another. That task belongs to the Creator. If little Muskrat wants to try, I feel we should let him. And this is the muskrat when he's stepping forth to volunteer. The muskrat dived down and disappeared from view. He was gone for such a long time that Wayne-Boozhoo and all the animals on the log were about to pay their last respects to their brave little brother. The muskrat was able to make it to the bottom of the water. He was already very weak from lack of air. He grabbed some earth in his paw, and with every last bit of strength he could muster, Muskrat pushed away from the bottom. One of the animals on the log caught sight of Muskrat as he floated to the water's surface. He pulled his body onto the log. Wayne-Boozhoo examined the muskrat. Brothers and sisters, Wayne-Boozhoo said, our little brother tried to go without air for too long. He is dead. A song of mourning and praise was heard all over the water as the muskrat, or as Wajashk's spirit passed to the next world. Wayne-Boozhoo spoke again. Look, Muskrat has something in his paw. It is closed tight around something. Wayne-Boozhoo carefully pried Muskrat's tiny paw open. All the animals gathered around, trying to see. Muskrat's paw opened, and there in a little ball was a piece of earth. All the animals cheered. Muskrat had sacrificed his life so that life would begin anew on the earth. To this day, the ancestors of our brother Muskrat have been given a good life. No matter what marshes have been drained and their homes destroyed, the muskrat continues to multiply and grow. And this is the muskrat's paw was a tiny piece of earth, Emma. It's right there, a tiny little piece of earth. The Creator has made it so that muskrats will always be with us because of the sacrifice that our little brother, the muskrat, made for all of us many years ago when the earth was covered with water. And it is in this story that we find and we learn that it is because of Wajashk, the muskrat, of why we have the earth that we have on today. It's also how much asema that we learned to offer. So if you have a tiny amount that a muskrat can carry, that's our next teaching for today. Today we're talking about asema ke. We're talking about making asema. So for today's lesson, what I want you to do for this page, I would like you to go to color in this page with Wajashk. And make sure to color in your asema in his ojins or oninj in his little hand so that you know what asema looks like and why we have asema for today. The reference for how much asema we offer for anything that we offer is because of Wajashk, his sacrifice that he made, of how much he grabbed and how much he was able to carry. Miu manek mingwich bizendauyan, gegawabman.